Hello and welcome to our family bookshelf. Today we will be reading the story of Joseph from the Rhyme Bible. Joseph's Dreams. Jacob had a lot of sons, but Joseph was his favorite one. "Look," he said, "here's something new. I've made a special coat for you." This made Joseph very glad, but it made his brothers mad. Joseph had a dream one night. He dreamed the sun was shining bright, and he was gathering some wheat for his family to eat. All of a sudden his sheaf of wheat stood straight and tall in the summer heat. His brother's wheat came all around and started bowing to the ground. Then Joseph dreamed another dream. He wondered what the dream could mean. He saw the sun and moon at night. He saw 11 stars so bright. They came and made a ring of light and bowed before him in the night. Joseph's brothers hated his dreams, so all of them began to scheme. They grabbed him in the field one day and took his precious coat away. Then they sold him to some men. They thought they'd never see him again. Down to Egypt went the men, and Joseph had to go with them. They sold him to King Pharaoh's guard to be a slave and work so hard. The King's Dream. Joseph slaved and worked so hard for Captain Potiphar, King Pharaoh's guard. But God was with him, Potiphar could tell, for Joseph's work turned out so well. Now after quite some time went by, Potiphar's wife told a great big lie. "That slave you bought is up to no good. He tried to hurt me if he could." So off to prison Joseph went, although he knew he was innocent. Joseph wondered, does God care? But even in prison, God was there. When two of the prisoners had some dreams, Joseph said, "Here's what it means." God helped Joseph on that day to know exactly what to say. Then King Pharaoh had a dream. It made him wonder, what could it mean? His servants said, "I know of a man, and he can tell you if anyone can." When Joseph came before the king, he said, "My God knows everything. Tell me all about your dream, and God will tell me what it means." "I dreamed," said the king, "of 14 cows, and though I cannot tell you how, 7 fat cows were swallowed whole by 7 thin cows who were out of control. But the curious thing about the matter was that none of the thin cows got any fatter." Then Joseph said, "Here's what it means. God is warning you through your dreams. For 7 years we'll have good crops, but after that the rain will stop. So find a man to be in command and put him in charge of your majesty's land." Pharaoh was glad to hear this plan. He quickly said, "You'll be the man." He put him in charge of everything and made him ruler next to the king. Joseph and his brothers. For 7 good years, while the land had rain, Joseph collected 1/5 of the grain. He put it in sacks and stored it away, for he knew they would need to use it someday. The good years ended, the bad years came. The fields became dusty without any rain. The people cried out, "There's nothing to hoe. Please give us some grain. Our crops won't grow." As soon as he heard the people complain, Joseph opened the stores of grain. Then one day some men came to town. The men were his brothers, and they all bowed down. He looked like a king, so how could they know that he was the brother they'd sold long ago? Joseph spoke harshly. He said, "You are spies." He did this to see if his brothers would lie. He wanted to know, would his brothers be good and repent of their sins and do what they should? "We are not spies," the brothers said. "We came here to buy some food and some bread." Joseph gave them some food that day. They loaded their sacks and went on their way. But Joseph had secretly opened one up and put something inside, his own silver cup. Then, when the brothers had barely left town, he sent some servants to chase them all down. They found the cup in Benjamin's sack, so they rounded them up and brought them all back. When the brothers saw Joseph, they tore their clothes. They fell down before him and said, "God knows that we didn't steal and we didn't lie, but we're being punished and we think we know why. We should have listened when Joseph cried. God saw our sin, though we tried to hide." Finally, Joseph could stand it no more. He sent out the servants and closed every door. Then he burst into tears and said, "I'm the one. I'm the brother you sold, and it wasn't much fun. But don't be afraid. God planned it that way. He knew I could help my family someday." Joseph's family lived far away, but all of them traveled to Egypt to stay. When Jacob saw his long-lost boy, he hugged him and kissed him and cried for joy. And that was the story of Joseph in the Rhyme Bible. Thank you for reading with us today. Please leave a like and subscribe.